Hi, I'm Rebecca Fleetwood Hession, and I want to talk to you about burnout. In fact, the World Health Organization has now listed burnout as an occupational phenomenon at epidemic proportions. It's a big deal. I hear it in the organizations that I'm working with, the clients that I'm coaching with. In fact, last week at a local coffee shop, I overheard a woman at the table next to me who was talking to a colleague, and she said, I was going to quit, but they convinced me to take a leave of absence. I'm just so burned out. And you know that conversation is happening in coffee shops around the country. So we have to do things differently. So let me give you some perspective about this idea of burnout. The World Health Organization says it has 3 characteristics. One is your energy is depleted. You just feel exhausted all the time. Number 2, cynicism has started to creep in about your career. And number 3, your professional effectiveness is starting to decline. And that breaks my heart because we care about our careers. As high-achieving women, even given the opportunity not to work, most of us would say, no, I want to work. It's a part of who I am. And so if we want to feel that sense of rewarding career, we've got to ban burnout. And there's some ways to do this differently. One is let's get some perspective. So we've used the word strive to talk about our lives. We've said let's strive to get to that goal. Let's strive to get to the next level of promotion. And the word strive actually comes from the word strife, and it means battle and conflict. And in fact, there have been years of my career that felt like a battle. But I know how to do things differently now because we can also thrive. And thrive means to grow, prosper, and flourish. And I want to continue to grow and prosper. I want a healthy career that's financially rewarding. But in order to do that, we have to create the right conditions for ourselves to thrive. And so that means to be intentional about creating those conditions. And here are a couple of things I want you to think about as it relates to burnout for you in your career. One is recognizing what are our unique gifts and talents. Being really intentional about knowing what they are so we can be sure that we're using them intentionally to add value in a human way. So we can get so caught up in the meetings and the deadlines and the spreadsheets and the forms that we can lose sight of this is a human experience. We are serving customers, we are working with colleagues and reconnecting into the human element of our work. Another thing that we can do is to recognize that we all have what I call the little bitch that lives in our head. And she tells us things about ourselves that mostly aren't true. And her intention is to keep us safe. She says, I'm not sure if we should do that. Maybe you shouldn't speak up about that. Maybe that's not a good idea. And we need to intentionally recognize that she's there and then take control of her because she's going to live with us forever. So you've got a couple of options. You can treat her kindly. You can put her in the passenger seat, strap the seatbelt on, and give her a snack and tell her, I got this. Or you can be a little more harsh about it and tell her to get her you-know-what in the corner, that you're in control. Either way, just recognizing that everyone has this, what I call head trash from her. And so getting control of that is a really important thing about banning burnout. But also, we need connection. We need the kind of intentional connection for the people in our lives that get us. Again, we need to take this back to a human experience that we're having in our lives and not just going through the motions striving. And so I want to talk about community and how that can help ban burnout. Stay tuned.